Now, Tinubu inherited deep challenges, says Coker. Chartered stockbroker Olumuyiwa Coker believes President Bola Tinubu inherited deep challenges that couldn't be erased in 2 years. Coker, who ran for governor in 2018, praises Tinubu's efforts in tackling entrenched systems, including removing fuel subsidies and stabilizing the currency market. He highlights Tinubu's progress in restoring academic calendars, expanding healthcare access, and driving infrastructure development. Coker suggests former Ekiti Governor Kayode Fayemi could have prioritized agriculture over airport projects for more impactful results, where he also believes the presidency should remain in the south to honor the rotation principle and preserve stability. Well, Coker said quite a lot, and it's quite interesting. If you know how Nigerians feel about the story, you simply need to go to X. You need to go to X to see how Nigerians are reacting to it. Some people say, well, the president should have known that, that Nigeria was in a deep mess before he took over, and that he promised Nigerians that he was going to put in his best. Is he putting his best? Is he putting in his best? That's the question Nigerians are asking. And he also said, the president said, don't pity me. I know what I'm coming into. I took the job and all of that. Now, Nigerians are also asking, inherited deep what? From who? Is it from the PDP or from the APC? Well, it's not, Chukwu Okoro will not tell you. The answers are very clear. Because as at the time Jonathan left government, inflation, exchange rate, debt exposure, we know the numbers. And the numbers have escalated, have skyrocketed from 8, about inflation from 8 to 22 as at the time he left it. Now from 22, it got to 34, 38 at a point. Exchange rate from 220, APC met it at 220 and took it to 780. And what again? And fuel itself, APC left, PDP left the fuel price at 187 or between 187 and 220 in different parts of the country. Now APC took it to how much? So all of those things are in the public domain. They is not subject to argument. Nigerians know what the president inherited from who he inherited it and all of that. But the main issue here is what efforts is the president making, is the government making to ensure that Nigeria goes back to where it was. A lot of people say, look, because Nigeria was in a deep mess, that was why APC had to come to untangle all of that. It's a big question. It's a big question that Nigerians are asking. Coker also went ahead to say, well, Kayode Fayemi shouldn't have built an airport. He should have prioritized. By the way, Coker said that the president is walking around infrastructure, healthcare services, and all of that. And I'm asking, healthcare services, and the president goes abroad, senior government officials. The other time it was the Senate president. The other time it was the minister of FCT were rumored to have gone. Both of them were rumored to have gone abroad for medical care. And we are hearing that the president is doing very well in healthcare services and infrastructure and all of that. Oh, well, I think it's very clear for everyone to see.
It's more than clear for everyone to see, because when you're talking about what Coker said, someone asked him, where have you been since 2018 after you vied for the governorship candidate in your state? And he said, I've been trying to shuttle between Nigeria and also UK. Politics happens to be part of daily life. And I want to ask, is this statement from him now more like a political statement? Because when you're trying to credit the president for the fact that he pulled out fuel subsidy, Nigerians are asking, of what benefit is this to us? Because I believe that if you say that some persons are trying to sulk or milk Nigeria dry through the fuel subsidy policy, and then he wanted to remove it so that Nigerians would benefit from what we know happens to be the gift of God to us in Nigeria. We're not seeing any gift. We're not seeing anything. We're not getting any fruit from it. Rather, we're still diving deep into economic hardship and all that. Now, when you're talking about a healthcare sector, and every other thing that he made mention of, saying that those were the things that the president have done, and he was kind of trying to applaud him for his good work and everything. The likes of Adams Oshomole said something that is going to be a bit difficult for the present president to put everything in order, reason being that he inherited a near bankrupted economy from his predecessor. Remember that he said something, I am going to start from where he stopped. And we're not seeing anything different, because the same thing that the former president did within his 8 years is what we're getting at this point. Just that the only difference is we're getting more like a more expanded tax net, and purchasing power is kind of reducing. Remember, some persons actually said that during their manifesto and all that. Now, I am not seeing anything different from what Coca is saying, from what the All Progressives Congress as a party have been putting up in terms of defending their activities to Nigeria for like 10 years now. They've been dead. This is more than 10 years, if I'm to use that word, because they took over office in May 29, and this is September. They've done more than 10 years now. And yet, they are yet to liberate Nigeria from that, which they say happens to be the shackles that PDP fixed Nigeria in over 16 years. I should be happy. I said this on Saturday on this table. My mom would tell, then my mother would be like, calm down, things will be better. Nigeria is going to be great again. And it is now my turn to tell my children, hold on, things will get better. You know, you cannot eat so biscuit today because we're trying to ration it. Maybe when things get better, you eat it.
When people say Nigeria will get better, I'm tempted to always ask myself, when was it better? Because I remember 60s. The song, Nigeria go better, Africa go better, my people go survival. You know, that was a long time ago. At that time, they were still saying Nigeria will be better. So we've been telling ourselves the same story over and over again.
If we were to call those people...
is Nigeria not better?
Is it better now?
I'm asking.
Better than what?
Better than from...
what are you comparing it to?
Between 1979 and now, haven't we made progress?
Haven't we? I'm pretty... Well, have we made progress?
Yeah, I'm trying to get out where the
because I know that... I mean... The currency was good at some point.
Okay.
I know there were some things my mom bought that were, if you compare it to the currency, now you're like, you know, she bought a gas cooker for about 7 naira. You know,
7 naira was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money at the time. It was a lot of money at the time. She bought a blanket for, what now, 10 naira. Lovely yellow blanket, I should remember. Very fluffy. Very fluffy. So, they got a lot of things that when you compare, you're like, oh, it was cheaper then. But the truth of the matter is, when you look at the currency then and now, I don't think the difference was much.
No, our economy was actually doing better then.
It was doing better.
It was doing better. But like a lot of people, some people also said that Nigeria has made progress because at that point, we didn't have telecommunication. We didn't have handsets. We didn't have phone.
When did telecom come? Okay. When did the world delve into that? That was late 80s.
Okay.
Yes, that was when the world started talking. 90s.
We didn't have it until 2000.
Until when someone decided to say, let me privatize the way I chat with my friend, so that my later will no longer be carried into an
You know why I brought in this angle? Someone actually said that the only progress Nigeria has made is the telephony.
It wasn't Nigeria making it. It was the world. No. We only you know keyed into it.
Keyed into it. Do you make power? The white man has made power. Just key into it. You cannot.
Well,
the white man makes syringes, buys syringes and medicines.
We've keyed into power, but we are shortchanging ourselves.
Exactly the point.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So, now it's okay. It's okay to talk about the presidency and the presidents and the APC, what they haven't done, you know, but. I'm tempted to look at the local government also. We're talking about local government chairmen and the councillors and the rest of them. Now, you talked about healthcare, and I think the provision of healthcare facilities in primary health centers is within the purview of the local government. Yeah. Are they doing it? How many of them are doing it? Not many. I think rather, what we are seeing now is, I mean, we're talking about local government autonomy. And what we are seeing now are local government officials, you know, enjoying the largesse, government largesse, going abroad, taking their wives abroad, spending taxpayers' money. So everybody wants a piece of the cake without giving the dividends of democracy to the people.
Talking about local government, I'm yet to confirm that in my state. I hear that councillors are supposed to receive 240,000 naira as monthly salary.
Okay.
But they are rejecting it. They are kicking. They say it's
240.
240,000 naira. They're saying it's far too small. Way too small
job they were doing.
for their offices. And because of the amount of money that the state receives at the local government level. I'm yet to confirm that.
Okay.
That is in the news. I bumped into it this morning.
Well, if senators are earning what now?
You don't even know if
2
it's
million?
1 point something or 2 million. We don't know. We're yet to know.
Senators represent, like
Basic.
in my state, in my own senatorial zone, we have 5 local government areas. Yeah. So practically, my senator OUK represents 5 local government areas. Okay. But so the councillor represents a ward, and my ward is 1, 2, 3, 4 villages. So you will understand why a senator receives 2 million and a councillor receives 204. These things are graduate, but it's quite unfortunate. You see, the local government autonomy, I have always asked, local government autonomy, how do you achieve that? In the first place, the Constitution gives the state government, that's the House of Assembly, the power, to make laws for good governance and administration of local government. How far are you able to drive that process?
Exactly.
To take it away from the state House of Assembly, now domicile it at the local government level, where the chairman becomes the alpha and omega
in that place.
Great question.
Of course, he will start
begging for answers.
For immunity and all of that. Why shouldn't he have immunity? Because he also has executive powers.
Right.
He has a parliament.
If the governors are to have, and the president also have the autonomy.
I'm surprised that they are not pushing for that.
I think time will tell. They might start pushing for it if they become really autonomous, because now they are not autonomous. I'm sorry to say that. They still have the grip of the state government on their neck and their jugular. Away from that story, we have another interesting revelation. This is about the 2027 presidency. As Jonathan Atiku Obi vie for ADC ticket, former President Goodluck Jonathan's meeting with African Democratic Congress ADC chairman David Mark has sparked interest in the 2027 presidential election. Here actually is a breakdown of the current situation. Jonathan is seeking the ADC ticket, but David Mark insists he must formally join the party, and after joining the party, participate in a fair primary. Jonathan hasn't gotten a commitment from Mark, leaving his bid uncertain. Atiku, on the other hand, who happens to be the former vice president, plans to join ADC soon and is confident about competing in a primary, according to what we got from insiders claim that Atiku controls over 65 to 70% of ADC structure, which could give him an edge. Peter Obi, who happens to be the former Labour Party presidential candidate, is consolidating his influence in the southeast. However, he may face challenges due to his supporters' opposition to him taking a deputy role. ADC leaders are trying to persuade Obi to accept the VP slot, but the ADC is reportedly dominated by Atiku's loyalists. I can remember when Dumebi came up with this particular, I'm talking about Kachuku, was making this postulation that even to the state level, ADC state level, that someone actually is trying to take out the structure that they have to impose its own so that it's going to be in his favor. But from what we're getting, it's more like it's playing out that way. And this is actually making it tough for others to secure the presidential ticket. The coalition stability is uncertain, with competing ambition and regional considerations at play. The dynamic between these key figures will significantly impact the 2027 presidential election. While Jonathan Atiku and Obi are vying for the ADC ticket, the party's internal struggles and zoning arrangement will influence the outcome. Interested one, when I saw this yesterday, on X, some persons were reacting to more like, are you sure the fate of Nigeria by 2027 will not be decided by some persons again? Others were asking, what does Jonathan have to do with a coalition? I thought he said he's not going to go back to, the seat and all that. Have he sorted the issue about swearing in the third time? And, a whole lot of questions were coming up. Some were even asking, well, Atiku Abubakar still be there. He should step back and just be this. Then on the part of the obedient team, they were of the opinion that their man will never be a second fiddle. And I was asking, then who is going to claim this primary ticket of the ADC, the way things are looking? The David Mark team is saying, if you want to be part of ADC, the coalition, you must come to be part of the primaries, which they believe is going to be fair. But if someone actually has control over 65 to 70% of the people in that particular party, will it still be a free and fair primaries? That actually is another question to look at. Now, is Peter Obi going to say, okay, fine. I can recall, I think it was 3 or 4 months ago that there was a statement to this regard saying that Atiku have decided to put down a particular document to say, come be my VP, come be my deputy in the 2027 election, and I promise you I'm going to do 1 term, and after that 1 term I'll hand over to you. And then, in other hands, Obi is saying, no, this is supposed to be within the South, because the South is here to complete their 8-year term. And we cannot wake up to distort what we already see to be a gentleman agreement. With this back and forth, and the fact that ADC, they are yet to tell us whether they are going with a zoning principle or not. Because if the party say we are zoning, like the PDP have come up to say, we have to zone the ticket to the South, presidential ticket to the South, because we have our national chairman come from the North and all that. If they've not come up to decide on the zoning principle of the party, then that shows we're going to see another internal wrangling within the All African Democratic Congress, because I'm seeing so many political bigwigs in that party, and they all have their interests and they have their positions too. And I'm not seeing anyone actually kowtowing for another, if you ask me. And this actually will speak volume to when someone says something that ADC, or rather the coalition, is more like dead on arrival because of the interests of the politicians that we have in that party. You know, too many hands, they say, spoils the bird. But let's see how this actually turned out.
Well, how it turns out, straight off, I think I've looked at what's going on in the political space between Jonathan, Peter Obi, and Atiku. And I think Goodluck Jonathan is simply trying to play the role of a spoiler here. It's as simple as that. He wants to play the role of... but to what end? That is what I'm yet to fathom. You know, I'm yet to find out. You were president on the platform of the PDP. After you lost the elections, you abandoned PDP practically. You know, stopped attending meetings and all of that. You're not even calling caucus meetings and all of that. And after 10 years, a group of people approach you to come back. Okay, not after, in between that period and now, there have been few overtures, you know, to him to come and run for presidency, and he's always said no. But now, rumors filtered out that, look, he is become interested in running for presidency. And instead of going back to PDP, where he was president before, he wants to go to ADC, where Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar have been in contestation practically about over who becomes the candidate of the party. And both of them have been cagey. Atiku Abubakar says, I will support anyone that emerges the candidate of the presidential candidate of the ADC. And Obi says, well, if I don't have assurance that I will come, I'll get the ticket, I will not come. And Atiku in another break says, oh, I'm interested in becoming the presidential candidate. Rotimi Amechi is there as well. And in all of this, so Jonathan seems to me, or looks to me, as someone who is trying to reap where he did not. So if he's interested in presidential candidacy and he doesn't want to use the PDP, why don't you go?
Especially now that PDP have zoned their ticket to the south. To the south.
And you are leaving it to go to ADC.
Another party, you know. You know,
if you don't want PDP, why don't you just go choose another party? Do the work that Atiku has done.
Simple.
Over time, for like 4 or 5 months now, Atiku has been all and about running, you know, putting things together for the ADC. And all of a sudden, a group of people approach you and you jump in to ADC. To do what is simply playing the role of a spoiler. And mind you, I have already said, if Jonathan tries, gets the ticket, and he doesn't win the election,
that's the biggest blow.
He'll be rubbished forever.
That's the biggest blow.
Honestly. So if he ever steps in, let's make sure if he can.
That's why he wants to ensure that he gets the tickets of his party.
But did he forget anything in Aso Rock?
I don't.
And the wife said, "I'm not willing to go back to that place again." Remember, the wife made that statement when she said she's supporting the incumbent. You know.
Well, it's not about the wife now. It's just I mean, I agree absolutely that this seems like him wanting to play the role of a spoiler, but I start to ask myself, where is morality? Is it dead? Is it that people don't, you know, sit back and say, okay, this is who I am and this is what I want to be known for. I want to stand for this. Do we all have a price?
Our guest analyst here, Dele Fanimo, says that there's no morality in politics. And sometimes.
No, but that's unfortunate to take in.
But I think it's an African thing.
It's an African thing.
It's an African thing.
It's a human thing, not just
No, it's not. It's not a human thing. In advanced democracies, morality is the decider of the kind of politics you play.
Because they have maybe a more strong or a more stringent measure to carry out or to punish those who actually go against them.
Well, if good luck.
So why can't we create the process?
No, but are we also taking out the fact that maybe people want Goodluck to come back to perform the magic he did
Nobody
when he
wants
was
him
there?
to come back.
Recall that Nigerians at this point in time will tell you that they are clamoring for someone who is credible,
and I think
who can actually help to push
assuming the
Nigeria
APC
forward.
came and the inflation that was at 8% and they dropped it to 4%, will anybody ever ask Jonathan to?
I don't think we'll be having this conversation we're having now.
Beautiful.
You know,
so let's try another person. It might have been happenstance under Jonathan.
Okay, if you say so.
Oh well.